Distributive property notes. So first of all, we need to decide what distributive property means. So in math, distribute means to give out. You should distribute when you see parentheses that have a number outside. So for example, if you see a number right next to a parentheses that has anything inside of it, you're going to distribute, or you're going to give out that number to everything on the inside. So when you distribute, you will multiply by the number on the outside of the parentheses. When you're done distributing, the parentheses will go away. So in this first example that I gave you here, the 3 parentheses x plus 3, you're going to distribute the 3 to everything inside those parentheses. Okay, so let's look through a couple examples here. So the first one, it has -3 parentheses 1 plus 9x. So I'm going to distribute my -3 to everything inside. So -3 times a +1 is -3. And -3 times a +9x, you're going to multiply your whole numbers together. We have -3 times 9 is -27, and keep your variable. So since right now there's nothing else to solve for, we don't have an equal sign, we're just simplifying, this is it. All right, let's look at the second one. I have a 1/5 on the outside of my parentheses, so I'm going to distribute a 1/5 to everything on the inside, multiply it. So the first one, 1/5 times a -5n. So remember, if you write this 1/5 and I'm multiplying, I want -5n to look like a fraction. So I'm going to make the denominator 1 and multiply straight across. 1 times a -5n is -5n. 5 times 1 is 5. And you're left with -1n. Then I'm going to distribute my 1/5 to 60. Again, make it look like a fraction and multiply. So I have 1/5 multiplied by a +60, makes 60 look like a fraction, and multiply straight across. 1 times 60 is 60, 5 times 1 is 5, and 60 divided by 5 is 12. All right, number 3, I'm going to distribute the 4 on the outside to everything on the inside. 4 times 3r is 12r, and 4 times your -8 is -32. All right, the next 4 you're going to do on your own, and then come back to check your answers. So number 4, we have a negative on the outside. We're going to distribute that. Remember, if you don't have a number next to it, there's that imaginary 1 in front of it. So -1 is what I'm multiplying. -1 times a +6 is -6x. And -1 times a -12, negative times negative is positive. So I have +12. Okay, I'm going to multiply 1/2. 1/2 times 8b. 1/2 of 8 is 4, so I'm left with 4b. And then 1/2 times a -4. Negative times positive is negative, and 1/2 times 4 is 2. And -2 times 7 is -14. -2 times a -3a is a +6a. All right, there's your refresher on distributive property. Tomorrow we will be solving them with equations.